Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, what I want to do is talk about the Watch Time show. I just got back from it in New York, and just sort of talk about it specifically and also in more general terms of like, what do you get out of going to these, and what are they, what is the worth of it? So let me get started. First of all, you can get to see sort of in person a lot of watches that you've seen before, you're really interested in. Up on the top left, sort of going from sort of like this, is the Langenheim Georg. What a beautiful watch. That's one I've always liked. Now, the main thing about it that attracted me to it is flip it over on the back. You have all these little finger bridges holding the wheel train, and you can see everything. You can see the whole thing. Um, Another thing that had been new that had I'd wondered about is the Parmigiani, the new Parmigianis, and I sort of generally like the looks, but I wasn't sure what they were going to do. And so I went to see them, and they were really great. I found out one of the reps for Parmigiani lives not too far from where I do in Connecticut, so that was really nice. And I got to tell you, I tried these watches on, and they are gorgeous. They are just gorgeous watches. Um, Down at the bottom, over there was a typical booth. This is the H. Moser Company booth. Lower left there, the guy he was super, really great guy to help out and very helpful, very interested in other people's watches, and of course, he wanted to show us his. And I looked at a lot of watches that they had, but at some point I'd seen this green, I forgot what they call the name, but this green watch, and I liked that. But I didn't know what it would look like or if I really did like it, and so I tried it on, and man, I tell you, I liked it a whole lot. In the background, you can see my watch. Whenever you try one on, you got to take yours off, and so, I mean, this is just one of the things, and you can do this. I don't know how many different watch companies were there, but there were a lot of them. And Gerville Force, I'm trying to think. Well, of course, H. Moser, Parmigiani, all of these really top watch collectors, Moritz Grossmann, just many of them. So that's one thing. You can go around and you can look at all the watches and you can try them on, which is a lot of fun. Now, another part that that is possible is to talk to the CEOs of the companies to see what's going on. How's it been going this year, and what you got new, and good to see you again. And it's sort of fun. It's on the left there is Edward Malin. I had interviewed him right before the pandemic at Cellini's off of Park Avenue in New York, and had a real nice talk with him. And it just was just a good talk. Also on the right there in the red jacket is Christine Hutter. And again, I had got a Moritz Grossmann and was talking to her about that and some other things that, yeah, you can do that. It's a place for that. Now, the real reason that I go to these meetings are the people. It's the most important part. My wife and I go together, and I see people. At the sort of top center there is a guy right before the pandemic. He and I were both at Cellini's, uh, which has this wonderful watch and jewelry store in New York, and this is where I was interviewing Edward Malin from H. Moser. And Eddie was on the way to Harvard. He was going to start there as a freshman, and of course the pandemic hit. We must have been there a week before they shut New York down for the pandemic. And so that was I got to see him again, and he was showing us his watch. That's another thing. Everybody's showing each other their watch. There's at the top up there's a group of us that I'd seen last year, and then the guy on the far right had a watch that I'd really been interested in seeing, and this is a Christopher Ward Bel Canto. Adam, a guy in the white jacket, had two Longa on watches on. The guy next to him, Dominic had helped me make he made a brass stand, or his son did, so that I could put these two movements together to see if I could see if I was able to get resonance. And it turned out I was, and I couldn't have done it without his help. The guy next to him, the tall guy, excuse me, he lives not too far from me. We always talk about, well, we got to get together. He's got family stuff where I've got stuff to do, but we always see each other at the Watch Time show, and it's always great to see him. The guy on the other side is Paul, and Paul is like very knowledgeable guy about a lot of different things and businesses and so on and so forth, and he's good guy to know. And then the guy next to him is, I forgot his name, but he had the Bel Canto on, and I got to see that. That was sort of fun. In the lower left there, this was sort of funny. I was leaving. My wife and I were out in the front there waiting for our ride back to the hotel, and this guy comes up, and we started talking, and he had bought 52 watches this year, and he was showing me his watches. And he knew about the Watch Side channel, and so it's just some really nice things. It just was like one person after another that kept running into, and that's always great. In the middle down there, we had the dog pile, and everybody put in watches. And there was Adam with his two watches, with his two his two Alt Longa. And on the lower right is another guy. He's a neighbor. We haven't seen each other in a long time. He's a rep for Chopek and a couple other companies, the U.S. rep. And it's always good to see him. He's always at the Chopek booth. And I mean, this is just a sample of what happened at the show. But I wanted to share it with everyone. And the whole idea. One group that I've always been impressed with is the Oklahoma group. I'm in Connecticut, and Connecticut's not very big. You can drive an hour from where I am, or just about any place in Connecticut, and you'll either be in another state or the Atlantic Ocean. Oklahoma is really big, but they get together with these guys from all over the state that come into their meetings, and I think that's one of the most fun things you can do in watch collection is to get together as many people as you can and have some fun with it. Anyway, so that's my report from the Watch Time show. I'd like to hear your feedback, and if you went there, because I missed a lot, I know, but I had so much fun. Let me know what you think. This is an opportunity to subscribe if you like. Until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Outside the Art and Science of Watch Collection.